Powerful drugs for depression. Anxiolytics. The girl improved, but it seems the doctors were baffled by her mind. Looks like Elodie found herself a little hideaway to keep practicing her dark craft. Elodie found painting, and with it, a way to spill the shadows that crawled through her mind. A pair of scissors and a comb. Elodie put in real effort to make him fit the mold of her ideal hero. Hair on the chair, strands on the floor. This is where the transformation took place. She remade patient 1365 in the image of her most secret longings. An alarm clock. Most likely, they used it to slip back to the second floor before anyone noticed they were gone. Every detail planned to perfection by Elodie. Their secret hideaway. Like two reckless teenagers, they started a romance, hidden from the prying eyes of doctors and nurses. For a while, they managed to keep their affair in the shadows, far from the eyes of doctors and nurses. The room's been decorated to resemble some sort of island in the South Seas. Of course, I should have guessed. She pulled him into her world. Elodie created Walter Brandon. This letter. At the very least, it's highly inappropriate. A draft letter, scratched out and full of corrections. She goaded him into leaving the sanatorium. That man was desperately ill. But Elodie's selfishness outweighed what little sense she had. She pushed him too far. If I pieced this together correctly, that Walter was never really Walter at all. There was another personality. She called it the Shadow, a dominant, dangerous force that surfaced again and again in his life. The threads are beginning to unravel, but I need to see this through. What truly happened to Walter Brandon?
Patient number 1365 returns after an absence of 4 months. He's in a state of utter disorientation, perspiration pouring off him, and good heavens, there's a severe wound to the skull. His clothes and hands are covered in blood, and it doesn't appear to be his own. He cannot recall his name, nor anything that's happened during these past months. Seems to have found his way back here more by some strange instinct than by memory itself. The personality once known as Walter has vanished entirely, as has the entity we refer to as the Shadow, though given his nature, I cannot say with certainty it isn't still lurking beneath the surface. We have treated cases of dissociative identity before, but never one such as this. His appearance, his voice, even his build and weight change quite drastically. Now he looks frail, gaunt, empty, as though there's nothing inside, as though he were but an empty shell, waiting to be occupied. His condition calls for far stricter supervision. This institution is no longer equipped to care for him. I am ordering his immediate transfer to St. Dymphna Hospital. Dr. Former, a specialist in matters such as this, will take him under his care. As I near the end of my tenure as director, I must see this case brought to a decisive close. The blood upon his hands, the emptiness in his eyes, all point to an act of the gravest kind. One his mind appears to have erased entirely. God help us, if the Shadow should ever wake again.
So it seems Walter came back to the sanatorium of his own accord, though he was utterly incapable of recalling what he'd done. They moved him to St. Dymphna's Hospital. Could he still be there after 20 years? What became of him? I'll have to follow this lead. That man returned to the new sanatorium, remembering practically nothing. Maybe it was the wound Lady Margaret left him. Or maybe his mind shattered and never came back after what happened that night. As for me, I was hired to find the one who killed Elodie Fordside, and my intuition told me they were still there, in the depths of St. Dymphna. I sensed that the end of the road was waiting for me in that place. Can't very well saunter in through the front door as if nothing's amiss. I'll need to find another way in. It's locked. It's locked. The night shift nurses are behind this door. I need to find another way into the hallway to the rooms. John Morley and the case of the red shoes. What the devil does this mean? Lady Margaret.
That fateful night, I was startled by the noise, those wretched cries of agony from dear Elodie. I rushed to her chambers, and there you stood, stained with the blood of the one soul I cherished above all others in this world. The housekeeper had warned me, but I turned a deaf ear. Elodie was finally happy, even amidst your incessant bouts of volatility. Yet, with the passage of time, your demeanor darkened. More and more frequently, that sinister presence lurking within you began to surface, each appearance more violent than the last. Elodie no longer gazed upon you with the starry-eyed affection of a smitten young woman. The atmosphere in this house grew suffocating, fraught with an unbearable tension. That very afternoon I spoke with her. She had resolved to end your engagement. You seemed, or so I dared hope, to have accepted it with grace. But that night, that very night, you ended her life in the most savage manner imaginable. I threw myself upon Elodie, desperate to save her. But alas, it was far too late. Months later, I learned you had returned voluntarily to the sanatorium. I sought answers and immersed myself in understanding the afflictions that plagued you. Dissociative identity disorder, they called it. A condition in which one might host multiple identities, each vying for dominion over the body. But the man confined in that bleak institution was not the shadow, not the fiend who had stolen my daughter. No. He was but the shell, the hapless vessel. And I yearned to find the true culprit, not the facade, the murderer himself. Thus I devised my plan. I came to visit you, and just as Elodie had done, I crafted a new role for you, a new identity to inhabit. I brought books, personal artifacts, penned letters as Penny. I leased an office and prepared every detail meticulously, down to the smallest thread, for your return as John Morley. Everything had to be flawless. And why, you may ask? To make you remember, to awaken the shadow, to summon forth the murderer from the abyss of your fractured mind. John Morley is a good man. Walter Brandon was a spirited young sailor brimming with love for Elodie. But the shadow was a merciless, unrepentant killer. I wanted to destroy the murderer who had stolen my daughter. But I could never bring myself to harm an innocent man. My obsession, my singular purpose, was to awaken the shadow.